College Station Cougars continue to stack wins, last week beating Magnolia 45-21 for their 11th straight victory, earning them a trip back to the regional semifinals.
Clearly, Texas Bowl activities have already begun here down in Houston. The Texas Bowl hosted their annual Rodeo Bowl here at Energy Arena, and while you would think the Aggies have a bit of home field advantage, it was the Oklahoma State Cowboys who had the upper hand. The end of the Jimbo Fisher era caught a lot of us off guard this morning, including the 12th man. Whether it was confusion or excitement, a lot of Aggie fans aren't sad to see him go. Texas A&M, Alabama always seems to be such a close game, a real battle. What is it going to take for the Aggies to get a win on Kyle Field? With just one win away from the Women's College World Series, Texas A&M was unable to complete the upset over top-seeded Texas 6-5 here in Austin. But despite how the game just finished, Trisha Ford says she cannot be more proud of her team's fight. If we have learned anything about the Aggie baseball team this season, it's that they are resilient and they never counted themselves out. Because just 1 year ago, this team was coming off a 9-21 conference record and was projected to finish last in the SEC. Now they're here at the College World Series. Win or lose, rain or shine, Aggies are committed to tradition. And as early as the last home game against Auburn, Texas A&M students were camping outside of Kyle Field. And you just mentioned some of the guys that are going to be protecting Connor Wigman. We saw him start in 4 games last year, 8 touchdowns. What are your kind of expectations for his sophomore year? Action for round 1 of the NCAA women's basketball tournament is getting started here in Corvallis, Oregon. Texas A&M takes the court for the first time later this afternoon. Head coach Mark Fannin says he doesn't usually like playing teams twice in one season, but tonight's regional final against Lorena is an exception. You started here at A&M as a freshman scholarship player on the scout team, is that correct? So kind of how proud are you of yourself looking back?
Yeah. And
this might be the headline, but it's not the full story for the Franklin Lions. Their motto this entire season was to defend the 164 being the amount of miles between AT&T Stadium and back at home in Franklin.
While most of us are seeking gratitude on Thanksgiving, the Aggie men's basketball team was looking for revenge this morning. Down in Florida, number 12 A&M taking on Penn State, the team that ended their season last year in the NCAA tournament.
And it's also the first time they're in the big dance since 2018. And we don't want to look too far ahead, but they do have a potential of playing number 2 seed Texas if they get by Penn State, of course. Tyler, just over an hour away from tip-off here at Rita Rita, and the Rowdies are already in their seats.
What might have been the most highly anticipated game on the Aggies schedule this season lived up to expectations, coming down to the very last play.